surprise, curiosity, and a bit of thoughtfulness. These are the emotions I felt after researching and delving into over 100 black celebrities who have been involved in undisclosed private secrets.
Hello everyone,
And this is our video 21 black celebrities who secretly slept with the same sex. This topic significantly influences how we perceive our glamorous idols, and it might just shock you. This video is suitable to play while resting, having meals with your family, or doing housework. All information in this video has been researched and collected by us from various sources. If there are any inaccuracies, please leave a comment below to help our channel improve. Please follow the channel, hit the like button, and turn on notifications to receive our earliest videos. Now, let's jump straight into our first figures. Michael Jackson. When mentioning the name Michael Jackson, we are not just talking about a person, we are talking about a brilliant era of music. For viewers of our generation, his love songs have become a part of our youth, an inseparable piece of our memories. Yet behind the mesmerizing dance moves and prestigious awards, the life of the king of pop was always a maze filled with mysteries. The public has always been surrounded by countless questions about his sexual orientation, how he faced the world, and about the lonely silence behind the doors of his magnificent Neverland estate. We understand that for many people, accepting the darker sides of an idol is a significant emotional challenge. From the analytical perspective of our memory vault, we do not view Michael through the eyes of a judge. Instead, let us try to put ourselves in his position, a person who was scrutinized by the world with every breath since he was a child. Michael Jackson's maintenance of an androgynous image was not necessarily a denial, but perhaps a defense mechanism for him to retain a sliver of freedom amidst the pressures of global fame. The rumors about same-sex relationships do not diminish the artistic value he left behind, but they help us see him as a real human being full of desires and very ordinary fears. That is the longing to find understanding, to connect with kindred spirits without having to fear the judgmental gaze of society. Our personal view is that the greatness of Michael Jackson should not be confined to private controversies. Throughout his life, he gave so much through his music, through his compassion, and through his efforts to change the world. If the stories about his intimacy with the same sex are true, perhaps it was just his way of seeking an escape from the extreme loneliness of a star without a support system. We, the audience, who have accompanied him for decades, should learn to view the matter with empathy. The life of a legend is like a book with many chapters. There are shining chapters, but also melancholic hidden pages that only the person involved can truly understand. Will Smith. Will Smith has always been a symbol of masculinity, courage, and an ideal role model in hit action movies. Our audience is very familiar with an energetic Will Smith, a successful man, and a solid pillar for his family. However, in the harsh Hollywood environment where the line between private life and acting is sometimes blurred, Will Smith has not avoided rumors regarding his sexual orientation. Questions about close relationships that transcend friendship with male colleagues often become a topic of gossip, especially when his and Jada Pinkett Smith's private life is gradually revealed in a complex light. At our memory vault, we observe that the public scrutiny toward Will Smith stems from the very image of the perfect man that he built. When a star constantly tries to please everyone, any ripple in their private life can become a shocking topic. Private trips and deep, unexplained connections between Will and male associates have created a picture contrary to the prejudices about a straight man in the movies he participates in. We believe that instead of judging the right or wrong of the speculations, this is an opportunity for us to look back at the pressure of maintaining a perfect image. In our personal opinion, an artist like Will Smith choosing to keep private or even normalize personal relationships is a way for him to survive in this industry. The rumors that have persisted from the 90s until now are not just gossip, but are proof of the public's curiosity about the nooks and crannies of a star that have never been touched. We should ask, do we love Will Smith because of who he is, or because he represents the values we want to believe in? Perhaps the truth about Will Smith lies somewhere between the glamorous action films and the secret confidences he has never had the courage to express to the world. If Will Smith's story surprises you, The upcoming secrets of these musical legends will surely amaze you even more. Let's go deeper with us. Whitney Houston, the voice of an angel. That is how we, the audience, affectionately call Whitney Houston. With a powerful voice, Whitney conquered millions of hearts, but hidden behind that brilliant musical career was a life filled with hurt. The rumors about the relationship between Whitney and her close assistant Robin Crawford have long been a topic of controversy. For our generation of viewers, witnessing an idol with a troubled love life always brings a lingering sense of sadness. It is not just a story of love, but a story of the struggle between instinct and expectation. When researching Whitney's life, our memory vault notices a heartbreaking paradox. The rigidity of the society of that time forced her to live a double life. Whitney Houston not only faced pressure from fame, but also strict control from her family and public opinion. The fact that she had to hide her true love to maintain her Princess of Pop image is a tragedy that few fully understand. We can clearly see the fatigue in her eyes in the later stages of her career, a fatigue that came not only from substances, but from the pain of not being herself. From our perspective, Whitney Houston was a victim of her time. The prejudice of her own relatives and society inadvertently pushed her away from her only soulmate, leading to wrong decisions in marriage and life. If Whitney had been supported instead of pressured, would music history have been different? This is a valuable lesson about the importance of understanding. Do not let the spotlight cover up a soul that is crying out for help. Regardless, Whitney will forever be a music icon, and her pain is a reminder for us to be more tolerant of others' romantic choices. Oprah Winfrey. Mentioning Oprah Winfrey, global audiences immediately think of the Queen of Television, a powerful, compassionate woman who is an inspiration to millions. However, behind her illustrious career, her personal life has always been the center of speculation, especially her strong decades-long bond with Gayle King. For middle-aged viewers who have followed Oprah's career over the years, this relationship is not merely a friendship, but it contains an intimacy that many still raise a big question mark about. At our memory vault, we do not focus on confirming or denying rumors. Instead, we want to analyze the value of friendship in the world of fame. Oprah has spent her whole life listening to others' secrets, but her own private life has always been kept behind a curtain of mystery. The bond between her and Gayle is not just a work-related partnership, but a source of emotional support. In a competitive environment like media, finding a soulmate willing to be by your side at all times is extremely rare. Our perspective shows that the public's curiosity about Oprah is actually a reflection of the need to see the real person behind flawless idols. Oprah is too used to exposing the pain of guests on air, but she guards her own privacy tightly. This raises an interesting issue about the balance between being a public figure and the right to private happiness. Are we being too harsh when demanding idols live up to the standards we set? In our personal view, the bond between Oprah and Gayle is proof that love in any form deserves respect when it brings peace and support to souls that have had to carry too many pressures from the outside world. Prince, a musical genius with a unique style who completely changed the face of pop and funk music. With an androgynous, charming, and magical image, Prince never feared challenging boundaries regarding gender and social norms. Yet, behind the provocative melodies and vibrant costumes, his private life was always a big question mark for fans. Many stories about long nights at Paisley Park have fueled rumors about the complicated love life of this legend. For our memory vault, Prince is not just an artist, he is the embodiment of absolute freedom. He did not accept being boxed into any pattern, whether in music or lifestyle. The omnidirectional nature of his appeal did not stop on stage, but spread to the way he approached personal relationships. For older fans, Prince pursuing different life values was a truth hard to accept during the years he was alive, but looking back, it was the courage needed to create a great artist. Our channel's personal view is that Prince's strong transformation after participating in religious activities in the 2000s reflects a deep internal struggle between personal beliefs and his artistic nature. Anecdotes about his relationships with young male musicians often carried nuances of admiration for talent mixed with emotional closeness. Perhaps for a genius like Prince, connecting with others was not based on gender, but on the resonance of emotion and artistic thought. Let us remember him as a borderless soul who turned his own pain and differences into immortal musical works, transcending all judgments of time. From the colorful and mysterious world of Prince, we will move on to a completely different chapter of a comedy legend with unbelievable truths. Please continue to watch. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy is an irreplaceable name in the world of comedy, an artist who has brought laughter to millions of families for decades. However, the image of a funny star on screen sometimes completely contrasts with the dark corners of his volatile personal life. The incident that caused a stir in public opinion in 1997 in Los Angeles was not just an unwanted accident, but a turning point that forced the public to rethink the real life of the comedian. For middle-aged fans who have loved Eddie through classic works, this event was a major shock, forcing us to consider the difference between art and real life. From the analytical perspective of our memory vault, Eddie Murphy's actions at that time were often harshly judged by public opinion. However, if we look deeper into the pressure of being an A-list star, where every step is hunted by cameras, we can somewhat understand the personal choices he made. He is not just an artist, but a man with distinct needs and instincts. His attempt to explain his actions to the police showed an effort to protect his reputation in an awkward situation. We should not let a specific incident define the entire value of a person who has dedicated himself to cinema. Our channel's view is that the maturity of an artist also includes accepting and facing the mistakes of the past. Eddie Murphy later proved his ability, and his career continued to thrive, overcoming the rumors. This reminds the audience that idols are also human. They have secret desires that sometimes even they cannot decipher. Instead of criticizing, let us learn to look at the situation objectively and more tolerantly. His long career and lasting influence are what we should cherish and keep in our minds. Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx has always been known as a rare, multi-talented artist in Hollywood, from acting and music to mastering the comedy stage. Someone with the ability to transform excellently into any role like Jamie often has a very rich and complex inner life. Information about his relationships with male assistants, especially stories told from the perspective of those who were once close, has painted a very different Jamie Foxx compared to the elegant image on the red carpet. This creates great curiosity for the audience who loves his talent. At our memory vault, we notice that the lives of celebrities like Jamie Foxx are often covered by a glamorous shell, making the search for genuine connection more difficult than ever. Closeness with assistant staff or those who support work is often misunderstood as relationships that exceed boundaries, but that can also be how they seek understanding in an isolated working environment. Jamie is an intelligent person. He understands the value of a personal image, but sometimes personal freedom is hard to control when the stage lights are off. We believe that one should not judge a person through unverified rumors. Jamie Foxx has worked tirelessly to affirm his position with real talent. Stories about intimacy in real life are just a small part of the overall picture of his life. For audiences over 45, we need a more mature perspective. Every individual has a right to privacy, and that right needs to be respected, whether they are public figures or not. Let us give Jamie Foxx admiration for the wonderful artistic contributions he has left for our generation. Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys, the soul singer with a soulful voice and profound musical thinking, has always been a model of grace and elegance. In the eyes of fans, she is a true artistic soul, always putting emotion into every melody. However, behind that strong and independent exterior, Alicia's love life once faced unexpected storms. Rumors about relationships with members of her working team were often carefully concealed, creating a mystery around the life of this talented woman. Analysis from our memory vault shows that Alicia Keys has undergone an extremely strong personal identity-forming process. The fact that she always keeps her private life secret is not because she is hiding something wrong, but to protect her core values. In an industry notoriously full of drama, maintaining peace in personal relationships is a necessary skill. Information about private meetings in her Harlem apartment is not just a story about love, but proof of a woman striving to find a genuine soul connection. Our personal view is that Alicia Keys' talent has said everything for her. Private life speculations are just spice for fame and cannot overshadow her contributions to world music. For the audience, being interested in the private life of an artist is understandable, but more importantly, it is the appreciation of the music they bring. Let us respect the freedom in Alicia's relationships and continue to support her quality music products. Her sincerity and efforts to contribute are always an example for many young generations of artists to follow. Usher. Usher has long been considered the prince of R&B with his romantic style and skillful choreography. For the 7X and 8X generations of viewers, Usher's image is associated with hit songs that dominated global charts. However, behind the masculine and elegant appearance often seen on stage, his real life contains unexpected hidden corners. Rumors about Usher's private life are not just ordinary gossip. They reflect the complexity and the lifestyle of A-list stars when they have to face freedom after intense hours of performing. At our Memory Vault, we observe that the public's expectation for Usher is immense. When he appears with the image of a charming gentleman, fans often assume he fits the traditional mold. However, being caught in sensitive situations with male dancers has made many fans reflect. Perhaps in Usher's world, intimacy does not lie in gender, but in the emotional connection at that moment. We believe that his attempt to separate his R&B hero image and his true self behind the hotel curtain is an effort to protect his personal identity in an industry full of judgment. Our channel's view is that we should not let the rumors take away our appreciation for the musical legacy Usher has contributed. Artists are also humans with natural instincts and needs. His choice to live discreetly, even though he is sometimes exposed by public opinion with unexpected details, is still a personal right that deserves respect. Instead of looking at the flaws or shocking personal life choices, look at how he strives to maintain professionalism at work. For viewers over 45, this is a lesson about tolerance. Look at artists multidimensionally, instead of labeling them with outdated, rigid social prejudices. Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah is one of the most multi-talented artists we have ever known. From rap acting to producing, she has affirmed her peak position. Her strength, fierceness, and big sister image have helped her become a symbol for the confidence of women of color. However, her choice to keep her private life secret for many years has created a veil of mystery. Her appearances with Ebony Nichols are not merely the accompaniment of friends. They hint at a deeper relationship that she has always tried to protect from the media. When analyzing Queen Latifah, our Memory Vault notices an admirable maturity in the way she handles rumors. Instead of denying or arguing, she gradually lets the truths be revealed naturally. It is a smart way to behave, helping her not to fall into the trap of negative public opinion. The bond between her and her partner has become a solid support, allowing her to continue shining in her career without having to worry too much about private life scrutiny. For her, the right to be happy is greater than any stage spotlight. Our channel's perspective is that Queen Latifah's courage in living true to herself is a shining example. In an era where openness is still a sensitive topic, she chose a way of living that is moderate but not secretive. The respect she gives to the other person and to herself is the key to creating happiness. We should learn from her that calmness. Life is a series of choices, and Queen Latifah chose the most peaceful path for herself. She proves that you can be a big star and at the same time have a fulfilling personal life as long as you know how to protect what is most important to you. Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi Goldberg, the legendary artist with innate acting talent and a unique style. We, the audience, are too familiar with her funny but profound roles. However, Whoopi's private life has always been a topic that makes the public curious because she is someone who rarely shares about her relationships. The event in the Catskill Mountains in 2003 was one of the rare times her private life was brought to light against her will, creating intense waves of controversy in the fan community. At our Memory Vault, we believe that Whoopi Goldberg is an extremely brave woman. She understands that fame is a double-edged sword. Rumors about her sexual orientation never make her falter or have to come out and explain. for her work and contributions to art and humanity are the most important things. Private, intimate moments, even if accidentally seen by others, cannot change the value of a person who has spent her whole life dedicating herself to justice and art. This is a confidence that few stars possess. Our channel's view was that Whoopi Goldberg's mystery is her own appeal. She does not need to label herself according to any trend to be loved. Her massive career from stage to television is the clearest proof of her timeless talent. For viewers aged over 45, Whoopi is a model of living a full life on her own terms without needing anyone's permission. Look at what she has done for the community instead of the dark corners of her private life hunted by others. That is how we respect a true Hollywood icon. Sean Diddy Combs. Sean Diddy Combs has always been known as an empire in the hip-hop entertainment industry, a man who holds absolute power and creates strong pop culture trends. His image is associated with luxury million-dollar parties and a high-class lifestyle. However, behind that brilliant spotlight is a private life full of complexities and controversies, especially in recent years when his name has been linked to legal lawsuits. Allegations regarding his love life and behavioral conduct toward male staff have seriously shaken the mogul image he built for so long. At our Memory Vault, we do not focus on inferring sensitive legal information, but want to analyze the price of power. When an individual reaches the peak of fame and money, the line between freedom and abuse of power becomes very fragile. Diddy's story is not just about sexual orientation, but a lesson about how glamour can mask flaws in character. For middle-aged viewers, this is a typical example showing that money cannot buy peace of mind, and every action, no matter how discreet, will one day be exposed to the light. Our perspective is that no matter how successful Diddy is in music, how he treats those around him is the ultimate measure of human value. Allegations of coercion or creating a toxic work environment are things that the community never supports. We hope that when looking back at the stories about Diddy, the audience will draw lessons about compassion and respect for human rights. Fame can be built in a day, but reputation and character are the only things that exist sustainably through the test of time. That is a reminder that no one can stand above the law and morality. Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott, the queen of hip-hop with a one-of-a-kind musical style, has always been a pioneer in breaking all patterns for female artists. Her creative talent has changed the face of the music industry. However, while her music is celebrated by the whole world, her private life is wrapped in absolute secrecy. Questions about Missy's relationship with female dancers in her troupe often become a private topic. Missy has chosen silence, letting the music speak for herself, instead of having to explain herself before the controversies of public opinion. According to the analytical perspective of our Memory Vault, Missy Elliott is a typical example of an artist who chooses to focus on legacy rather than daily life. She does not need to come out or put labels on her sexual orientation. She lets the fans feel it themselves through excellent artistic products. Missy's discretion is not avoidance, but a protection of personal freedom before an industry that always wants to dissect the private lives of artists. We extremely appreciate how she controls her image, a very professional act and worth learning from. Our channel's personal view is that Missy Elliott's privacy is what needs the most respect. She has contributed timeless works, top-notch performances, and a musical style full of identity. Is who lies next to her every night really as important as what she has contributed to the music industry? For audiences over 45, we are experienced enough to understand that personal happiness is an indispensable part of life, regardless of its form. Missy is an intelligent woman who has defined her own life instead of letting public opinion do it. She deserves admiration for that consistency. Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is one of the most influential figures in Hollywood who personally built an entertainment empire from stage plays to blockbuster movies. Tyler's image is always that of a confident, brave, and powerful man with the legendary Medea character. However, information related to his private life is always scrutinized by public opinion, especially stories about intimacy with male staff at his very own mansion. These incidents have raised many questions about the real lifestyle of a self-made millionaire. Our memory vault believes that Tyler Perry is typical of the pressure of a black man standing in a top position in the entertainment industry. Keeping his private life secret is not just a personal choice, but a strategy to protect the reputation of an entire massive production system. However, the shocking incident with his ex-girlfriend and the allegations from actor Derek Dixon are a big flaw in his career. This is a big lesson about managing fame and maintaining ethics at work. We do not deny his innate talent, but ethics in private life is also a factor that the public is very interested in. Our perspective is that Tyler Perry deserves a fair assessment. He has opened opportunities for many other black artists to shine. Private life scandals, whether real or just rumors, should not completely overshadow the positive contributions he has made to the film industry. However, we need to honestly acknowledge that power comes with responsibility. Hopefully, in the future, Tyler will continue to focus on humanistic artistic values, leaving behind legacies that fans can be proud of, instead of unnecessary controversies about his private life. Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross possessed a soulful voice as sweet as honey, a symbol of romance that almost every American woman once longed to hear him sing in her ear. However, behind the immortal love songs, Luther's real life was a long, lonely chain of days in a tight, protective shell. He never married and always kept a safe distance from the press regarding his love life. Information about his relationship with a male fashion designer was always considered a taboo topic, a secret hidden under the shell of the image of a romantic man always singing about love for women. At our memory vault, we realized that Luther Vandross's life was a tragedy of sacrifice for the public image. In an era when prejudice about gender was still very strict, he chose to hide his true sexual orientation to protect his career and the feelings of his beloved mother. That was not deceit, but a painful endurance to preserve the admiration of the vast number of fans. Many close friends like Patti LaBelle later confirmed that he had lived his whole life in turmoil. Luther's silence was not just to protect himself, but to protect the cultural values he represented throughout the 80s and 90s. Our personal view is that Luther Vandross deserves to be remembered with the highest respect. Artists like him had to carry psychological burdens that we the outsiders can hardly fully understand. Instead of judging why he did not publicly reveal his true self, we should be thankful because he left the world the most wonderful melodies. For our generation of viewers, every time we hear one of his hits again, understand that behind it is a sensitive soul that gave everything for music. That is the nobility transcending all the superficial rumors of the world. Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was not just a comedian. He was a street philosopher who used laughter to dissect the most sensitive issues about race and sex. The rawness, frankness, and sometimes the rebellion in his shows completely changed the face of American comedy. But behind the aggressiveness on stage was a person full of psychological contradictions. Richard Pryor's life was associated with long party nights and unlimited experiences with gender, where he sought absolute freedom in a society still full of barriers. According to our Memory Vault's analysis, Richard Pryor openly acknowledging bisexuality in his personal diaries was a very brave step. He was not afraid to admit experiences with actor Marlon Brando or relationships that went beyond traditional frameworks. This does not diminish his greatness. On the contrary, it makes the audience better understand the source of the genuine emotions in his performances. Richard Pryor was someone who lived true to his instincts without embellishment, without covering up, and that very authenticity made the difference of a comedy legend. Our perspective is that Richard Pryor lived a full life in his own way. He did not seek social approval. He sought personal freedom. For viewers, over 45 looking back at Richard's life, we can see a reflection of a volatile era where the line between right and wrong was always challenged by the rebellion of youth. Let us cherish Richard Pryor for daring to live true to himself in a harsh world. The legacy he left behind is not just laughter, but also the courage for each of us to dare to face ourselves. Young Thug. Young Thug is a strange and controversial phenomenon of modern hip-hop music. In a music world that inherently prefers images of edgy, muscular, and masculine men, Young Thug appeared as a cultural shock with an androgynous fashion style. The dresses, the vibrant outfits, and the bold self-expression have made him the center of attention. For our generation of viewers, accepting an artist like Young Thug is not easy because it challenges every prejudice that has existed for decades in community culture. Stories about his personal life, whether true or just, rumors on tours, are just part of the overall picture of an artist who always wants to erase all boundaries. From the perspective of our memory vault, we believe that Young Thug is a pioneer in redefining freedom. In art, he does not accept any template, and perhaps in personal life, so too. Information about him, having intimate connections with male associates in his crew, is often exploited by the media as a way to explain his difference. However, is that the most important thing? We should view him as an artist trying to express freedom in thought, where gender is no longer a barrier separating souls. Young Thug's rebellion is not aimed at anyone. It is a self-affirmation in a world still full of harsh looks. Our personal view is, let's temporarily forget the private life speculations to listen to Young Thug's music. He is a true talent who has changed how we view hip-hop culture. For audiences aged over 45, perhaps, his style is not the choice for daily enjoyment, but it is part of contemporary music history. Be more tolerant of those who are trying to live true to their nature, even if the way they express it might be a bit different from what we are used to. That is the empathy needed to build a more diverse and open society. Sherman Hemsley. Sherman Hemsley is a true icon of American television, especially with his role as George Jefferson in the show The Jeffersons. For middle-aged viewers, the image of the grumpy, strong Mr. George, who was a model father and husband, has become an unforgettable piece of memory. Yet behind the shell of a screen star, Sherman Hemsley was a completely opposite person, quiet, reserved, and always kept a distance from the outside world. This contrast made his life a mysterious story, only partially revealed through stories told after he had left this world. At our memory vault, we understand the pain of artists living in an era when openness was not accepted. The 70s and 80s were a period where a black actor, if he came out about his sexual orientation, would almost put an end to his career. Sherman had to live in the struggle between brilliant fame and the need to be loved in his own way. The fact that he had to cover up his personal relationships was not deceit, but the way he protected the career he had worked hard to build. That was a terrible psychological burden he carried his whole life, a silent sacrifice that only those involved truly understand. Our personal view is do not view Sherman Hemsley through rumors about his private life. Remember him as a talented actor who brought laughter to millions of families. His discretion does not reduce his contributions to art. On the contrary, it makes us feel more sorry for a soul that had to struggle to maintain an image for the public. For our generation, give Sherman the final respect. A life that dedicated itself to the screen and his secrets, let them become a part of history, like a reminder of the rigidity of a bygone era. Shemar Moore. Shemar Moore has always been an ideal model in the eyes of many fans, from action roles in Criminal Minds to SWAT. He possesses an attractive appearance, strength, and a masculine appeal that any man longs for. Because of that, rumors about Shemar's private life have always been a topic of great controversy. When someone considered a symbol of masculinity is questioned about his romantic orientation, fans often react with extreme surprise. That is a reflection of the very prejudice in each of our hearts about what a real man is. Our memory vault believes that the audience's curiosity about Shemar Moore is proof that we often put artists into preset boxes. We want them to be perfect, to be strong, and to live the way we want. However, in the real world, Shemar is also just a human with his own needs. His choice to keep his private life secret is not to deceive the public, but to protect a part of his life that he considers sacred. Even though there are rumors about him being close to male friends, it is still a personal right that he has every right to keep. Our perspective is that Shamar Moore's acting talent is what needs to be recognized. He has worked tirelessly to create a foothold in Hollywood, a place that always demands harshness regarding image. Do not let side stories overshadow his professional values. For audiences over 45, we are experienced enough to understand that a person can have many different sides. Continue to support him for his wonderful roles and respect his privacy. That is the civilized and tolerant behavior that we need to have toward artists who have brought us emotions. Dear friends, through the journey of exploring these 21 stories, hopefully we not only stop at curiosity about private life, but also receive valuable lessons about empathy and a more multidimensional view of each person's life. Each star, no matter how brilliant and successful, behind the glamour are human beings with hidden corners that need to be understood. Wishing you always have moments of relaxation that are truly warm and happy with your family. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any interesting upcoming exploration journeys with our memory vault. Goodbye and see you again.